Oh, hey there. Welcome to the Close Friends List podcast. We're so excited to have you here. You've been added to our close friends list. Before we jump into this episode and start yapping and gabbing, wanted to stop by and let you know that you can find us on social media at Close Friends List Pod. You can find us on TikTok, Twitter, Insta, Spotify, YouTube, and anywhere else with podcast platforms. We're so excited to see you online and hope to be added to your close friends list. Let's get into this episode.
Welcome back, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
It's the holidays.
Season.
Wait,
Yeah.
Are we gonna get claimed for that?
I have
shell?
shells in my pocket.
Girl, what?
Where are these from?
I don't know. Show that to the camera.
I have shells in my pocket. Where are these from?
I mean, the beach, but
Yeah. Like, did Phoenix put that in there?
No,
or like,
Phoenix
did
gave me shells, but I don't
Right.
remember
Or I was
when.
like, were you like, this is really beautiful. Like, I need
No,
to keep
he
this,
gave
like,
me
moment.
these, but I don't remember when or how he got shells.
That's so funny.
Anyway, Merry Christmas, guys.
Happy holidays.
Happy. Sorry. We're gonna be PC here. Happy holidays.
Happy Honda days.
Happy Honda
Yes.
days.
Toyota Thon.
Toyota Thons are around the corner. Yeah, it's December. We made it. It's Christmas time or Kwanzaa time or Hanukkah time
Yeah.
or whatever you celebrate. It's that time.
Yeah. It's the time that I'm in person, y'all.
Yes.
Our favorite time
Here
of
we
the year.
are.
It is the best time of year.
It is.
Yes.
Every December we
It's just a gift.
It's
Get
the gift that keeps on
together.
giving. Yes.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's holiday season. We're going to be talking about a couple of things
Lots of
today.
things.
Yeah.
Obviously, Christmas related things like movies, but also December is the time where they release the Spotify Wrapped.
So
Yeah.
stay tuned till the end of our episode to hear ours.
Yes.
Will we be
Arguably-
embarrassed? I don't know.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
What is embarrassment?
Arguably our most anticipated episode of the year.
Exactly. For us personally.
I was going to say for
I don't know about anyone else,
Yeah.
but us
Yeah.
for sure. Like,
Yes.
we've been looking forward to
It's
it.
been a year for the music. Well, to start us off though, let's kick it off. What Christmas movie would you like to insert yourself in? Sorry, what Christmas movie would you like to be a cast member in?
Okay. There are so many.
Yes.
And I'm like, is this, would I love this? Would I not? Like, but I'm going to just stick with my first original thought of The Holiday. Like,
Oh,
Bye.
switching the
the
Cameron
house share,
Diaz,
Cameron Diaz, like,
Kate Winslet, Jack Black, Jude Law. They
Yeah,
swap
like,
houses for the season.
Yeet Me. Have you not seen that?
Oh, okay. It's a good one.
Okay.
It's a good one. Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet swap houses for just for Christmas.
So Kate Winslet lives in like England.
Yeah.
And Cameron
Little
Diaz
cottage.
lives in this like mansion in LA.
Okay.
And so they were like, we just want something different for like the holidays. Like, so they switch places.
They're both like running away from men.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, I just need to be single and
And,
out
like,
of the
living my
country.
life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they swap houses. Like, I would like to live in the mansion, but also live in that
Cottage.
English cottage.
Yeah.
Like, that's a dream of mine
Well,
to
you
live on the
know,
English countryside.
Jude Law
Yes,
has been
he
coming out this
spoiled
year
it, and he
said
was
that-
like, "It was just a set. It's
Yeah.
not a real house. Like
Uh-huh.
everywhere else was real, but like that house that people have loved for years,
Yeah.
were like
'Cause
was
it-
like not real.
the real, like a house that the director had in mind did not actually exist.
Yeah.
So they built like
I bet
what they
they
wanted.
built a set.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Since it's a movie, but everyone thought it was a real home that you
Yeah.
could maybe like stay in or like."
'Cause it's so cozy.
Yeah,
looking.
it's so nice. But no, Jude Law was like, yeah, I thought that was obvious.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
were all like, no, it's
Nobody
not, Jude.
knew. Yeah.
But yeah, so I would love to just do that travel moment
Yeah.
Yes. That's a good one.
and maybe with like Cameron Diaz's wallet and then like
Yeah.
and go to like
Yeah.
England for a
Exactly.
bit. Like, I don't know.
find love, and countryside.
Why not?
or-
Exactly.
Or
and then
not.
go
Or
back.
just vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just
yeah.
wherever the, wind
world-
takes me.
exactly. The world's your oyster,
Exactly.
for
What about
sure.
you guys?
My first thought, and I don't know how I would fit into this world, but one of my favorites is Love Actually.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
like, but I think part of it is like it would be easy. Like I could just
For
I
sure.
could do 100 different things. Anything could happen.
Would you want to be one of the like already existing characters, like insert yourself in there,
know-
or just be in like the timeline and then be like, and an additional character of Katie?
I kind of feel like an additional
Okay.
timeline because they all have
They're
their
all
pros
messy.
and cons. Exactly.
Yeah, they're all
exactly.
messy.
Like,
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you asked me 10 years ago, I would say insert me into the Hugh Grant one.
That's what I mean.
100%.
We know you love Hugh
10
Grant.
years ago, I would have been there.
Yeah,
I would have
yeah,
been booked
yeah,
and busy.
yeah.
But also, like, thinking about his timeline where he's like, although I do love this, where he does like end up firing her and then he's like in love with her. So he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm going to go find her. And he
Yeah.
knocks on like 100 houses on
Yes.
the street. It's like, that's cute. But they also
Yeah.
had to go through like a breakup kind of like.
We hate
you
the
know.
third act
I
breakup.
know, I
So
know.
yeah.
And then I think about some of the others, and it's like, damn, like that Alan Rickman really cheated on Emma Thompson
Yeah.
and made me cry to Joni Mitchell. Like I would not,
Yeah.
even though their kid was like the lobster in the nativity scene.
Yeah. Isn't that your bio?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
It makes me cry every year. We saw it in theaters last year, so it's just like I think I would like to be in the timeline. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all works out for everybody, which is fun. But it's still Christmassy. There's different things happening. Like you kind of can choose your own adventure.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, and just live and vibe in London.
So we'll
You know?
be neighbors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, where are you going in London? No, I'm kidding.
What movie in London?
Yeah, I don't have a movie in London, so
Okay.
mine's
assume
between
you.
two. So I would either do Polar Express,
Yeah.
Ooh.
That hot chocolate.
Yeah.
or I would do Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer
Okay.
movie, the animated like the claymation
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
But not for the reasons that you think. One, I would do Polar Express so that I could fight Tom Hanks as the train conductor.
Obviously.
And then
that does make
Yeah.
sense.
yeah, and then two, I do Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer so I could fight Rudolph.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your
'Cause-
issue with him?
I just
Just
feel
like pick me kind of?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like he needs to be.
You wish
humbled.
you had a glowing nose.
I do. And I feel like he should have been humbled. Like there's no reason, he wasn't
Yeah.
the best. He just had a glowing nose. So
It
yeah,
was just a light.
literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
You
that
know?
take, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
a
should
good
be
one.
thinking about
Because
what
they're
I
feel
want to
good
fight.
movies, but it's like, no, actually I want to fight this character.
Yeah.
So I'd love to be.
Well, it's funny because one of the movies I thought of was Elf, but it's like I did think like I would be too violent in that movie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
So I love that actually.
But what's his name was also like chaotic
Will
in
Ferrell?
it. So yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the point.
So you
yeah.
could be
yeah.
two chaotic biddies
Yeah.
like, together.
Yeah, that'd be a good remake for sure. But yeah.
That's wild.
That's so
That's
funny.
a good one, Adia.
Yeah. I mean,
love
there's
that.
lots of Christmas movies, but there's also movies that happen around Christmas.
Yes.
You know?
Well, and actually, since we're kind of getting to Christmas movie talk, I did want to ask you guys, like the big question that everybody asks every year, Die Hard, Christmas movie or no? Thoughts, ladies?
I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen
Same.
it.
Okay.
Same.
Well, then I will speak for the podcast.
Oh.
And, yeah, because I've seen it, and I actually watched it this week because I was like, let me just before I knew I was going to ask about it, so I was like, let me bring some.
You should have told us to watch it.
Yeah, well-
because then we could have given some
I don't think you guys would like it. Let's throw that out there.
Yeah.
It's not really
a
it's
Fight
fine.
Club. Like
Bruce Willis.
It's fine. It's propaganda. So yeah, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
All right,
okay.
speak for us,
Yeah,
Katie.
go ahead.
Speak for us.
And the
Well,
and I
depending,
wouldn't
we'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't normally. It's not. I didn't even give it a heart on Letterboxd, but it was fine. It's fine. The thing about it being Christmas is that it is a Christmas movie, and anybody who tells you it isn't is lying. They literally are being held hostage at a work Christmas party. The movie opens with Bruce Willis whistling Jingle Bells and asking his limo driver to play a Christmas song, who's playing the Run DMC Christmas song. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and he says this is a Christmas song. So it's all Christmas related. They're talking about, presents for the holidays. And yes, there's a lot of violence and death and guns. That does not
But if
take
that's
away the
not
facts.
Christmas, then what is?
Exactly.
You know?
And I mean,
especially in the year of
And
2024,
in the
baby.
US.
that's what I'm saying. So
In
like
the US.
the people who say it's not, it's getting to what you were saying about like it's set around Christmas. It comes up. It's one thing if it just like they mentioned it once. It comes out throughout the whole movie. They're
Well, I
talking
mean, if
about it
it's
the whole
that time, if it's
Yeah.
like December
Yeah,
20th, like
exactly.
obviously it's
Yeah.
gonna be,
exactly.
you know,
So if you think that it's not a Christmas movie, you're wrong. And
it could even be like just a holiday movie.
Well, exactly.
Like
That
it doesn't
too.
have to
That
be like
too.
specifically like Christmas, like the
Exactly.
Polar Express, like
Exactly.
Rudolph. But it could be
Yeah.
just like a holiday film.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when you were saying like vibes of Christmas, like
Mm-hmm.
again, the guns, whatever, but like they're talking about Christmas every other
Mm-hmm.
scene,
Yeah.
basically. Like
Yeah.
they're talking about Santa, they're talking about
Yeah.
presents, like it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's it.
Interesting.
I would not necessarily go out of my way to watch it. So don't worry about it.
I was just about to be like, maybe I'll watch it,
No.
but
don't.
but so many people talk about it, so
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's a heated topic.
and then I just like stay quiet because again, I've never seen it, so
Yeah.
I'm
That's
like,
why
maybe
I
I'll.
watched it the first time because I was like, I need to know what people are talking
Yeah.
about. But then I watched it and I was like, I don't need to watch this again. And I wouldn't have if I knew that I wasn't gonna like mention.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just
But you were like, I need to get my points in.
and I'll keep it
Yeah.
in the background. You know, like I was not actively because it's boring. It's 2 hours.
that's a lot.
That's
Yeah.
so much.
Not much happens.
Christmas movies are like hour.
That's what I'm. Yeah,
20
exactly.
max.
This doesn't
Yeah.
take away the fact that it's Christmas, but yes,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
We're looking for something easy breezy, beautiful.
Yeah.
and that is not it.
That's not it.
And that's why the Hallmark and Lifetime are so successful at making Christmas
Because it's
movies.
quick.
They know.
Quick,
Exactly.
easy,
1, 2, 3.
simple.
Acts 1, 2, 3. We're done. We're
Yeah.
good.
And that's all you need.
Honestly, like I'm not looking for craziness
Yeah.
and like in depth. Like I mean, some I'm like, oh, like that's emotional,
Yeah.
that's sad, that's sweet. But like I'm looking for cheesy goodness
Yes.
for these from these
Yeah.
like Hallmark, now Netflix,
Yeah.
like all these movies. I'm
Quick
like,
serotonin hit.
just like I want to feel good. I want to see the main person like
Yeah.
go to wherever, randomly meet a handyman and fall in love.
Yes.
Like
I do have to say, I love that even though you hate movies, you love Christmas movies.
Absolutely.
Because that means everything to me. I'm
Yeah.
watching a Christmas movie a day in December, and I need to send
Yeah.
to people what is good and what
don't get
is-
it twisted.
Yeah.
I up my Hallmark
Yeah,
subscription
right,
for the month
right.
of December.
I love that.
And then I cancel it.
Yeah.
And then
That's
I
smart.
My
Bring it
parents
back.
watch Hallmark year round. They do like Christmas
boss
in
does
July
that.
and stuff, and so my parents
Yeah.
have
That's
it
so cute.
year round. They can't even watch it in December because they're like over it. They're like
That's
I've
so
seen them all.
funny.
They've
Yeah.
watched them all, but there are new
Yeah.
ones, you know, every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
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 ABC's Family, 25 Days of Christmas
Yes.
was really where it was at for
Yeah.
a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could
Back in
always
the
count on
day,
that.
yeah. I actually looked up like their like lineup and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, the memories, because they play a lot of older ones and then they have like random brand new one and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, you're still making things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
but
There's a reason we haven't heard about it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But speaking of Christmas movies, like we
Yes.
have been, like, have you guys seen new ones this year?
Yes.
No,
No.
Okay.
I don't have the time.
And
That's
fine.
fair.
That's fine.
That's fair.
I watch my movies on TikTok now. Like if it's not a 25 part
yeah.
movie that I'm on TikTok, then I'm not watching
with
it.
the pen.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah,
what I-
like,
exactly.
If I can't scroll and watch the movie, I'm not watching the whole
Honestly,
thing. So
since we're talking about TikTok and 25 part movies, like I'm upset when people don't like the same account. It's like X539123
Yeah.
like movies.
yeah.
Why don't you put all the parts on?
No.
Like,
And then
why
the
am I
comments
having
are like
to
part 2,
search?
part 3, like
Tag me one part 2, tag me one part 3, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, but put up part 2 and part
Yeah.
3. Like,
it's too much.
come on.
It gets worse when you go to the page and it sometimes like you see they're like uploading now maybe, right? Like the last one was
Yeah.
uploaded like an hour ago.
Yeah.
But when you look and it's like last upload August 31st, you're like,
Makes you
I'm
so mad.
I'm
Yeah.
never getting to the end.
And then
of
you have to
this.
search in the search
Yeah.
bar, but someone else's part 2 like is like
Yeah.
their
And
part
It's
1.
like part one,
right.
and then like a minute of their part
Yeah.
2.
Oh, it grinds my
Gosh.
gears when you the same account they'll do a part 2, but it's got a whole minute and a half from part 1. Like they're trying to
I'm like, you know, I
Yes.
just watched
Yes.
this. What are we doing?
exactly. Then you only get a minute of part 2, and then you go
Yeah.
to part 3, and it's
Yeah.
like the same minute, and then it's
What's
like,
also annoying is when the same TikTok accounts, like they just post all their part 2s of like the different
Oh,
movies
yeah.
that they're posting.
Yeah.
And then they never get to part 3.
Yeah.
Or you see like part 3 of like this other one. And I'm like, okay, but you were posting part 2s
Yeah.
and now all these part 3s.
Like,
where
where
is
is
the
it?
part 3 I'm
Yeah.
looking
Where
for?
is it? Yeah.
Sabotage, honestly.
okay.
But back
well,
to the new Christmas
exactly.
movies.
Back to Christmas
Exactly.
movies.
Yeah.
So I watched
Yeah.
as I was flying back to the East Coast from LA. I was like, this is the time that I'm going to watch these new Christmas movies.
Yes.
So I watched, I think 3
Okay.
on
okay.
them, and I think you also watched these.
At least 2 of them I know. Which three did you watch?
Oh, I don't think you watched
The
Mary
Lindsay Lohan one, I
No,
did not.
I watched Merry Gentleman.
I've
I
seen.
watched A Scottish Christmas.
Okay, I didn't see that's the one.
Okay, that's the
I
one you
didn't see
wanted.
that one.
And then I watched Meet Me Next Christmas.
That one was the best one, probably out of. Well, okay, we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
So new Christmas movies.
New Christmas movies.
We love to
So
see.
let's just start off hot and heavy. Merry Gentleman. Have you heard of that one?
No.
It's
Okay.
basically Magic Mike for Christmas.
Stop.
Yeah,
With Chad Michael Murray.
With Chad Michael Murray and
Really?
what's her name in a bad wig?
Britt Robertson.
Yeah.
A terrible movie. It's like, and it's bad in every single scene.
It's not even
not-
like
yeah, look it
you
up.
can imagine it's a real her real hair.
you
Like
literally-
that's a
Wait, what is it?
Merry Gentle
And-
ER.
yeah,
Merry Gentleman.
Yeah. It's
okay.
like not even remotely believable. In
No.
any
So first of all,
frame.
yeah.
And not one frame.
Okay, so basically she goes back to wherever first of all,
Some
she's a
random-
Broadway dancer.
Yeah.
She's in their version of like the Rockettes. But they call it the Jingle Bells.
Yes.
And so she is like 32, I think, and gets fired because she's old.
Yeah.
And
Look at that wig.
Yeah.
I've had better
Criminal.
wigs than that.
Criminal.
I mean, for like a movie set where you're paying someone to do
Yeah.
hair and makeup.
Exactly. Like that's the gag.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
anyway, so she goes back to her hometown. Her parents own this thing called, what's the place called?
It's just like a little dive bar.
Yeah, it's a
kinda.
dive bar, but also like is where they perform like
Oh, yeah,
open
they
mics
have-
and stuff, and
Yeah.
and so they owe $30,000 to their landlord because they're back 6 months rent.
Same.
It's like,
Yeah, so maybe look
I was like,
into this
that's a
one.
little real.
Yeah.
But so basically.
She
The
comes
main
up with,
girl talks out of her ass to the landlord. Is like, we're gonna do a male review,
and we're gonna make the money.
We're
that
making the
way we
money.
can keep this place.
and so the male review starts off 3 men, one being her brother-in-law. Okay, that's the
I
gag.
kept forgetting he was like related to them.
That's her. I thought that was the weirdest thing
Yeah.
to be like, hey, I'm doing this male review. Can you take your top off and like?
Well, her sister was really involved. Her sister.
Her sister
was like,
was the like main idea
Yeah,
of like why she did it, because at her bachelorette there was a stripper, or no, she started dating a
She was
stripper.
dating a stripper, and her sister was like, "Well, when you dated that dentist," and she's like, "He wasn't
He's
actually
not
a
a dentist.
He,
He
was
just plays one."
Yeah.
And she's like,
yeah."
Okay.
yeah, it was
So,
crazy.
This movie for me was borderline unwatchable. I
This
was
movie for me,
so-
I would give it a low 3 stars.
Okay,
Because I was
didn't-
Out of
giggling.
5?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was giggling my way through it, and also I was on the plane, so I had to be like,
What's a little different? Yeah.
I was like, don't look at it. Don't like they.
Okay.
I would be like, okay, like it's up when they're talking or whatever,
I
and then when they
needed-
got on the thing, I was like,
What would have made this movie better is more of a budget for songs, because they were doing
Yes.
these bootleg Christmas songs.
bootleg brand new Christmas songs that were like
No.
slutty.
Yeah.
and but it was like
It's
it
like,
was crazy.
Just pay for like the "All I Want for Christmas Is You" like EDM version. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
like up the budget just a hair, or change. Like you're already not paying enough for some like the wig. So like
Exactly.
Let's just
First of
call
all,
it a day.
it's not the costumes
No,
because
no.
you're wearing homegirl's wearing what she has on her back, and then
Yes.
he has like a little construction jacket on.
Exactly.
Stop.
But I think they also needed to up the budget on the cast. They needed some
know-
background actors because it
no.
was
You're kinda
crazy
right.
that they asked the old man at the bar when the brother-in-law broke his ankle and
He was
like,
kind of a vibe though.
no, he was a vibe, but I
Yeah.
needed more of the taxi driver and the bartender, like
Yeah.
type. Like those are the okay.
Oh, like we needed more men.
Yes,
You
I-
mean- yes.
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, not
'cause-
just like 4 on stage.
yes, I was
Yeah.
like, that's crazy. And then
That's-
also like
everybody in town knows all 4 of them. So
Exactly.
that's the
Exactly.
guy.
I think this is the guy.
Like it's a small
But
town.
every night it's sold out.
Yeah.
So it's
They
like
made their money,
Once,
spoiler,
yeah,
yeah.
they made their money. Spoiler alert. So once the like middle of the thing comes out, the male review is popping. Everyone's coming, but they show shots of the crowd, and it's like us at a table.
Yeah.
Like it's not busy, and then like
No.
half the crew who you see in the crowd is like her mom. this is also her parents are there.
Stop.
They're the ones who own the club.
The club. So they're watching. Her sister is watching. She's watching. And then the old man at the bar before he joins, he's watching. So it's like,
That's so cringe.
Their budget went to Chad Michael Murray, and I don't
Yeah.
even think it paid off. You know what I mean? Like, he's like,
his
fine.
body paid off.
Yeah.
But like, we could
And that's all we needed for this. I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie.
But they could have found somebody just as hot who was not as famous and like really
Saved, yeah.
Yeah.
and
some
like
coin.
upped the rest of this
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
Like the budget.
So
you
did
know?
they fall in love?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their
a
chemistry,
given.
I wasn't even buying their chemistry.
No, I wasn't
They were
either,
not
but I was
even-
giving it. That's why it's a low 3
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it kept me entertained, and I was like, the concept.
The concept's there.
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
would
okay,
say.
yeah,
Like
it's
something
there.
different, right? Like
Right, it's like not a normal Christmas movie you
Yeah.
would see, but
No.
I'm like,
Yeah.
You wouldn't
She's
watch
still
this with
like
parents.
big city girl coming home, but
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
on a Christmas tree farm. You're creating a magic. Mike
well,
situation.
also, so this is going back to last week when we talked about. Would you rather be like a big
Right.
city girl going to the small town or a small town girl going to the big city? And me being like, okay, but they always have like their job comes back and then they just like, no, I'm leaving this high paying job.
Yeah.
The Jingle Bells asked her back, and that has been her aspiration for all of time. She wants to be a big Broadway dancer, and they ask her back with a massive
Bonus,
raise
yeah.
and like a 3-5 year contract or something, like
yeah.
all this, like everything she wanted. And then Chad Michael Murray has trauma because his like fiance like
Left
moved
him
him
to go to a big city.
go to the big city. So
Yeah.
he's like, how could you do this to me? Like, I thought we were a
Oh,
thing. And
stop.
they've
Yeah.
known each other for a week. Maybe.
Right. Well, it's
Oh.
like closer to a month, I think, because they do like
Yeah, at
the
the
time
end. Yeah,
lapse
they
of,
do like 2
raising
weeks
the
of
money.
2 weeks of like learning the
Uh-huh.
steps, and then
Oh
like
my
2
gosh.
weeks of the show. But I'm
still
like,
not enough to be.
to be like,
No.
how could you do this to me?
Exactly.
Like, blah, la la la. I'm like, Chad Michael Murray, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
She told you that her dream since she's been a little kid was to be the Jingle Bell, and she like loves that life, and like
Yeah.
she the whole time there was never a time in this movie where she was like, I hate it. Like,
Yeah.
actually, I hate it. Like,
Yeah.
it's toxic. It's blah, blah, blah. No, she
That's-
loved
Well, yeah, even after
every
being fired
point
for
of it.
being too old, she still liked
She still loved it.
Yeah, she still wanted to be there, which is
So-
like you would think maybe after you got burned, you'd be a little
Yeah.
bit more like reserved, but no, she did
She was
not
loving
care.
it.
Yeah,
So
kind of
it,
interesting.
I get it. I get the 3 then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 It's just like a little. The
Yeah.
script needed some. They just needed more money.
just
It's
more
like-
money, and it's crazy because it's a Netflix.
I know, I
movie.
know.
So you would think there's a
Yeah.
little something, but
Yeah.
They just wanted to crank it out. Yeah.
and they cranked out a lot of holiday movies.
Oh man.
So the next one,
Well, yeah. So then the other one that I watched this year, Meet Me Next Christmas.
Yeah.
With Christina Milian.
that surprisingly came out last year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yes,
It
I
came
watched
up
that.
as I was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But also it's Pentatonix propaganda,
Yes.
which I love.
Really?
Because,
Yes. Well-
Pentatonix is like, I love their Christmas stuff,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm always listening to it. So watching this, I was like,
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Yeah.
the general vibe is Christina meets the guy on the left in an airport, and they hit it off. They're like really vibing. They're just like in an airport lobby together, and he's like, "Can I get your number?" And she's like, "I have a boyfriend. Like, I'm sorry." And so he was like, "Well, next year, if you're single and you're still interested, like let's meet at the Pentatonix."
Okay, so
Christmas
she's
concert."
like, you don't know Pentatonix? She
Yeah.
shows him Pentatonix.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And she's like, haha, yeah. And then they like talk about Pentatonix for like
Yeah.
20 minutes. And
Yeah.
then he's like, oh, gotta go board my plane.
Yeah.
Can we exchange info?
Right.
And then
Yeah. And then so the next year comes around, her boyfriend has cheated on her. She's like, I have to meet Airport James at the Pentatonix concert for
Yeah.
Christmas.
And
but
what's-
it's sold out.
it's
Like,
sold
what am
out
I
because
gonna
it's a
do?
Pentatonix
Oh, I
show.
love
like,
this.
Yes.
Okay, I love
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love this.
Also, what the gag is like the boyfriend cheats on her, and then she's like, "In 2 days, I need to be like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Pentatonix
yeah.
show is
It's
at
like
2 days
tomorrow,
So she's
yeah.
still thinking about homeboy on the
Yes,
left,
yeah.
like throughout her whole year of being with
Yes.
because her BFF knows about this guy too.
Yeah, she's like,
and
"You
she's
have to
like, you
find
have to go
him."
find
Yeah.
airport guy, blah blah blah.
That's-
So since
like
they're
all
sold
this.
out and they're in New York City, she ends up hiring like is a concierge service.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she meets what was his name? Ty? You texted me like a little
I did.
like couple name.
oh, it was like
Teddy. Yeah. So she
Yeah.
meets Teddy and he helps her try to get tickets. So they go through some crazy trials and tribulations. They do like a drag show to try to win tickets. They like
I love
really
this.
and
Also, like,
it's really it was
Teddy's
so
on.
heartwarming.
It was heartwarming.
This
Teddy's
one got
also
me.
like his part. So he's part of
He's
this
just like a
concierge
teddy bear,
service.
actually.
First of all, yeah, he's like a teddy bear. But his part is like he needs to make this sale or he's getting fired.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's
yeah.
he's got skin in the game.
trying
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
best to
Okay.
make this sale. She's trying her best to meet her man. And then while they're traveling around New York trying to find these tickets, first she gets scammed, then like something else
of
happens.
She pays like $800 and they're like tickets from
For
last year.
and he runs out. It's
pretty
crazy.
good. But if you overlook the Pentatonics, or like if it's a,
I loved it.
No,
Again,
but
I love the
for
Pentatonics
people listening
propaganda.
who are like maybe not interested, it's like because of that. Like
Were
if
they
you-
actually in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
There
love.
were like
And-
scenes of them being like,
Well, because Teddy was sending DMs, like doing a Hail Mary. He's like, maybe they will give me tickets. So
Yeah.
he's sending like every
To
time
the,
they
like,
do something,
official
he's like, she just got
Pentatonics,
scammed.
like-
and they're like reading it in their dressing room. Like, look at Teddy. He just,
oh my gosh,
like,
Teddy
told us,
updating.
like, yeah,
And
yeah.
so by the end, spoiler alert,
Yes.
they're like, come
Let's
come
get her a
backstage.
ticket.
Like
Yeah.
if she gets a ticket, like you can be the like Santa that comes down the chimney
Yeah.
part of our show, and then you'll be able to confess your love to her.
Uh-huh. It's so
Wait,
cute.
Teddy,
Yes.
the concierge, falls in love with her.
Yeah.
So
And
now she's
she-
got two guys.
But
Yes.
she
I mean-
realizes that Teddy is the man for her. Like
Yeah.
that this
Obviously.
And so it's funny because she gets to the Pentatonic, so she's running. She bumps into
Airport James.
that's his name.
Yeah.
Airport James. And she's like, I know we said we were going to meet here in next year, but like I've realized that I've fallen in love with someone else and blah, 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 blah. And like this whole thing. And then she's like, I gotta go. And like runs in.
Is
and
James like, who are you?
he
No,
has like
but-
a bouquet. So you're like, oh, he's waiting for her.
Yeah,
And
he
then
does
he's
recognize
like,
her.
Okay.
he's
Yeah.
like, and then this other girl comes out and is like, hey babe, sorry I left. And he
Yeah.
was like,
So he wasn't even there for
he
her.
wasn't there for her. He has his whole girlfriend.
Which is fine. We want him to.
Yeah.
Like,
He was a nice guy, so I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
okay,
exactly.
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
he wasn't
this
even
one-
waiting for her.
This
It was
one got
crazy.
me. I mean,
It was a wild ride.
Yeah.
I loved the scenes of them like trying to find the tickets. Like that was
Yeah.
great. But then the scene that was like, because they get split up, she like is trying to get into the backstage, but she doesn't have a backstage ticket. But she has a ticket that works for the front door. Like she
Yeah.
can just go out there. But she's like, I'm trying to get backstage, Teddy's is on stage
Yeah.
confessing his love.
Yeah.
And she's like, I need to get, like, he's saying my name. And the back door guy is like, I
Yeah.
can't let you in. That scene was too long because I was on
Well,
pins
yeah.
and needles.
Oh.
I was
Even,
like,
Scott
come
doesn't
on.
normally watch movies with me. Like if they're on in the background, but he like sat down for this one and he's like, why is she not running to the front door?
Literally.
Why?
Almost
he
like-
was amped up. Like when are they gonna?
as long as
Yeah.
that man, like the first time that the back door guy
Said
was like, no, like
Yeah.
run to the front and
Yeah.
your ticket works.
Yeah.
But she was like trying, she was like pleading, and she was like, please, please, please. I was like, girl,
This one,
No.
get it together.
not enough people are talking about this one because they
Yeah.
also feel like a real couple to me. Like some, like they spent hours together.
Yeah.
I mean, love's a little strong, but like Christmas, I
Yeah.
guess. And then
Yeah.
It's in
and
the air.
This is not the only movie because Scott was really hung up on the Pentatonics thing, but there's a lot of Christmas movies do this, but a notable one from recently, there's a movie called Last Christmas with Henry Golding. It's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
good movie. It made me cry, but because Henry Golding's so beautiful. And Amelia Clark, and the whole soundtrack, and part of the reason I don't like it, the whole thing is George Michael.
I think you talked about this last
single
year.
Song is George Michael.
I think you talked about this.
And I'm
last year.
like, thank you for like sticking to a theme, but also I
Yeah.
hate the theme.
Switch it up.
Yeah,
We can switch it up.
Yeah.
Same with the Pentatonics. Like
But I
not
love
that I hate. Yeah. It's different. They have more bops, I think, but it is like the same vibe. Like Christmas, you pick an artist, who has
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
Christmas catalog and just make a movie around it and call it a day.
And honestly, 10 out of 10. Loved
Yeah.
it.
I mean, Christina Milian is like,
She's a Christmas queen.
yeah,
first
and
of
I
all.
yeah.
believe her.
she's
Like,
good
Yeah.
for movies like that.
Exactly.
So I
she
was
was
like-
giving what she needed to
Yeah.
give as the lead for sure.
That's great.
I do have to mention there's a Christmas movie I don't think either of you have watched. It's called Xmas. It's with Leighton Meester and Robbie Amell, who I can't remember what he's from.
First of all, love both of those people.
yeah. So I watched it.
I think it's EX.
Yes, yeah.
I've been meaning to watch
So-
it, and I saw the trailer for it recently. I was like,
so the gag is, so I watched it because I was like, I need something kind of bad.
Yeah.
Or it's good and bad, right? Like they're all good, but they're all kind of bad. So the idea behind this movie is that they used to be engaged.
Yes.
And then they broke up, but she still wants to go to Christmas with his family because her family's like in Hawaii and she's not like flying to visit them or whatever. So he ends up saying like, I have to work over Christmas. So his family invites her
'Cause
to
they
their-
love her.
They love
Yeah,
her.
they love
you know,
her.
she was going to be an in-law. Obviously his work thing gets canceled. He goes home, surprises the family, and they're like,
and she's like coming down the stairs with like
yeah.
wrapping paper.
So this movie was actually good, generally. I didn't give it a star rating, but it really got me.
It touched you.
I gave it a heart and I cried.
Ah.
However, the problem is I wrote a review on Letterboxd that said, "What's with all the yellow?" So the thing, they did what they did in Wicked, the backlighting. So every scene is
Okay.
looking like artistic and yellow, and it's just like backlighting. The director commented on my post.
No.
Yeah, and
they
was
say?
like, "Did you have night mode on? There's no filters on the movie." And I was gagged. I literally was running around my house. I was screaming at Scott because I'm like, I feel so bad because I actually liked it. You know what I mean? Like I gave it a heart. I cried.
And
like
you,
I really actually liked this movie.
And
and
did the
now-
beginning of the thing, like beginning of
I-
your
all
review.
I just did like a one sentence because I don't always write paragraphs for every movie I watch. So I was like, I wish I would have put something else to say because like I
Oh my
really did
God.
like it, but I'd watched 3 other movies that day and I didn't want to. I was tired of writing, so I was just like, let me just put this. And I'm like, and so I commented back and I was like, maybe my computer turned on night mode. It didn't. I know
didn't.
it's backlight, and that's fine. But don't get it twisted. Like I really had a good
I
time.
loved
you
the
know,
movie.
Yeah, but I was just like, when I got the notification, I started shaking. I was like, this is not.
You're lying,
Like,
you're
out
lying.
of all the reviews I've ever written, this is the one.
Oh,
like
yeah.
where I actually like the movie, and now he thinks that he has to defend himself from
I'm
me.
screaming.
Like I'm so.
Well,
I
first
mean,
of all,
you're not
why is
lying. Look at
he-
that.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like something is off, and that's fine. It's a choice. It's an artistic choice. It wasn't for me, but I still liked the movie.
Yeah.
Like-
My question is, why is he like scouring Letterboxd?
well, okay. This is my issue. I actually liked his review first because.
Okay.
So I think he was kind of waiting for like
Fair.
a, you know
Okay,
what I mean?
okay.
Because he wrote this really heartfelt, like it was like a 5-paragraph essay about like I made this movie and I had fun and like I really put my heart and soul into it. So I liked it because he was like, even if you give it half a star or 5 stars, like I appreciate that you took the time to watch this film.
Honestly.
So I thought it was really like
That's
cute.
nice,
So I
yeah.
liked it. So I was on his radar. I liked it before I finished the movie because I was just like looking while I was watching. So.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Jonah. I don't remember your last name, but I really did like this movie, and I'm sorry that you thought otherwise, but I cried. So that should
man.
say enough.
Yeah.
But,
That's so funny.
yeah, it was. I was like,
That
I
is
literally was
comical.
screaming. I'm like, Scott, what do I do? I feel
Delete.
so bad.
Delete your whole account.
I should just
Whatever.
edit the review just for future, like
Yeah.
in case anybody looks back. I don't know, but
That's
yeah,
so
it's like,
funny.
I'm
Oh,
so
man.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh man,
That is so funny.
it's been a mess. But
okay.
you've watched the Lindsay Lohan one?
No, I didn't watch.
Oh, okay.
Well, I watched the one from last year.
Okay, that's what I was
But
thinking. With like Cord Overstreet.
I want to bring up the Lacey. What's her name? The like
Chabert? The
the like
Girls.
queen of Christmas movies
The
right now.
Hallmark girl.
It's
She's
called.
in Mean Girls, so she's Lacey.
What's it called? It's like
I know
a
her.
merry,
Yeah,
a merry
Lacey-
like Scottish Christmas or something.
Shaper.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. There she
Yeah.
is. She's also in Hot Frosty.
Damn, she's got
We do
a
gotta-
discog filmography.
The one I'm looking for is not even on this list.
We do have to talk about her though because she is cranking these
She
out.
really
Yeah.
is.
And
it's
they're
like
not even for
a merry
me.
Scottish Christmas. There it is. Okay,
Oh, at
so
the bottom. Yeah.
the synopsis of this is her and her her family she is half Scottish.
Okay.
Her mom was like, come to Scotland I have something to tell you guys. So her and her brother and her brother's wife go to Scotland, and they, first of all, her and her brother have this big riff. They were closest friend or closest kids, and then like big riff. And so it's just awkward there. And she's like, hi. And he's like, whatever, you know, like it's just
Yeah.
awkward. Anyway, so basically they're staying at this massive like mansion kind of palace
like
thing.
it.
And she's like, what is happening? Like, her mom is staying on this restricted 4th floor. Like, they're staying there, and they're like, wow, how much money did mom shell out for this? Like, for us all to stay here. Turns out her mom is a former duchess.
Oh, interesting.
And she left Scotland and ran away from home because she was like, I want to marry this American boy and
Okay.
become part of this band, blah, blah, blah. And she was supposed to take over like wherever their little places. But so then her brother took it over. Her brother passed away like a year or so ago. And his final thing was like, I want you to bring like the family to show them like
Interesting. Like
the heritage
yeah.
and the like place that we grew up and blah, 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 because they had never, you know, been there and never seen it. So her brother and her are like there. Obviously she meets the groundsman
Right,
who
right.
is taking care of like this Scottish mansion palace thing. And it was just a lot, but it was also, it was like, you know, more so of like her and her brother and basically the mom like rekindling their relationship more than the relationship between her and the groundsman. So like that was nice, but like the brother is not a very good actor, so it was like awkward.
I was gonna ask, like, did her and the groundsman even have chemistry? Like, these photos are kind of giving
Yeah.
forced. Like,
Well,
I'm curious.
first of all, that's the brother.
oh,
this is the brother?
That's the brother.
okay.
So the third row, oh wait, hold on.
Royalty is relative. Okay, sorry.
So that's the brother.
Interesting.
The third row at the bar,
Yeah.
that's the
okay,
groundsman.
that makes more sense to me.
That's
that
the
does.
groundsman.
Okay, because I'm like,
That's
this
adding
is
up.
giving sibling.
Well,
And it is.
Yeah, yes and no, but like when
But
you
it's-
Google a like
Exactly.
you expect it to
Exactly.
be, yeah.
And so they just like get into their Scottish
Interesting.
heritage and like start blah blah blah, and then
Oh, okay.
there's also like the brother and his wife are like going through troubles because at first they were like, we don't want kids, and then like since she's getting up there in age, she's like, now I want kids, and he's
Yeah.
like, I don't,
Right.
but then you know it's just a rocky road.
interesting.
Weird.
And
marketing.
This
so
is probably her most different Christmas movie.
Yeah,
out
it
of
was
all
very
of
interesting.
Because yeah, none of her other ones I can think of are like giving sibling or like
I know,
you
and
know,
I
like,
liked
more
that it was
family.
different, that it was like more family versus like just her falling in love with his grandson, but also it was like so cheesy, and I was like, I can see what's happening next.
you
I
know
can-
what
Yeah.
this is giving?
but also
it's giving that commercial where
Oh my god, the Folgers commercial.
yes,
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
It kind of is because like again when
Folger's
you
sibling,
when
yeah.
you Google like a Christmas movie, you kind of expect,
yeah, it's a Christmas one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was weird. But it was like, I was like, oh, okay. And then the groundsman, I was like, I wish he was just like a little cuter, but I was like, ugh, okay, whatever. You know?
It's tough. They got Lacey up against all these randoms. Like, the
Yeah.
guy for Hot Frosty is the guy from Schitt's Creek, and he's
Yeah.
hot in Schitt's Creek, but then he looked weird.
He
in
had
Hot
that
Frosty.
ugly wig on.
Okay, yeah, that's.
And I was
probably
like,
what it
that's
is.
hideous.
So she's really like they're giving her.
She
some-
just says,
some
I
duds.
need a check.
Yeah,
The Mean
I
Girls
get it.
money has run out. I need a check.
Residuals are done.
yeah, for sure.
The residuals for that will never be done.
Well.
Not get it twisted.
it's true, but I mean,
But
it's tough because how do you really even keep them apart, girl? You know what I mean? Like, I get your bag, but
That's a
it's-
big yikes.
It's
that
rough.
they've marketed that movie like that.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
for
it
sure.
makes sense if you watch the movie. You're like, of course,
It's
like the
fine.
brother would
Yeah.
be on the main because they're
he's,
both
like, the
main
main-
characters.
Yeah,
but,
but-
then
I guess they aren't standing together in the
yeah,
actual cover.
I don't know why they
but-
did the like weird little thing. And also, like at the end, they were like, so. Spoiler alert again, the brother and his wife, they like fixed their relationship. They're like, okay, like let's just move here because
Right,
well
right.
at first the drama was they were like, okay, like we want to keep this in the family.
Right, but nobody wants to
We'll
live
still
here.
run it, but like let the groundsman guy, he'll just like take care of like everything here on the ground, and we'll come like visit here and there.
Interesting.
But then the brother and the sister-in-law had like a heart-to-heart. They were like, we've decided to take the Duke and Duchess title. And Lacey is like,
Interesting.
what? We literally talked about this. Like, we were not going to do that.
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying? But like, still keep it in the family, blah, blah, blah. And so she gets pissed and she's like, I'm going home. And then she's a doctor in like LA or something.
Yeah.
And so they are like now rekindling. And so she's like, okay, I will leave. Like, it's after Christmas. Like, it's time for me to go home. She goes home. She doesn't even make it like 2 blocks.
man.
Like, I mean, it's like 2 minutes in the car ride before she's like, turn back around. And so then the final like thing, she like rushes back into the thing. She's like, I'm here. Like, I want to be here with my family. Also, how do you feel about dating a duchess?
Oh my
and
God.
it's cheesy.
Yeah.
I was expecting more at the end, but I was like, why am I
Well,
expecting more?
you're
Like, that's
there's-
on me
yeah,
for
there's like 8 minutes left. Like, there's not enough time to make it.
and like
more.
7 of those minutes are
Uh-huh.
the
Credits.
credits.
Yeah,
so I'm
for
like,
sure.
okay. Yeah, it was crazy.
I don't really think of Christmas in Scottish.
You know,
It was just like the vibe. You know?
Yeah.
And they like had like Christmas traditions and like,
Yeah.
it was nice. I mean, they had like a Christmas tree farm
it's
like
kind
in
of
their
a reason
backyard.
to like, okay, everybody come for Christmas, like an
Yeah.
event to come for, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of
But yeah, they were like, Christmas is our. I'm not gonna do a Scottish accent.
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah,
is
yeah.
our
Do it,
best.
do
Like,
it, do
I
it.
can't. I don't even think I could. Christmas is our best like time of the
Right.
year. Like everyone like pictures this as like the Hallmark movie like
Yeah.
set. And
Yeah.
you're like, because it is, but it's a
It's
Netflix movie
literally-
set.
Dang.
So
What is
yeah.
it about Christmas that like people think they can just put out anything?
Yeah.
And it like takes
the money.
off. Like, yeah.
look at us. We just
I
talked
know.
about 4 movies.
I know, but it's
Yeah.
just crazy because there's like literally 200 that come out a year. You know what I mean? It's like I could watch.
And your parents will watch all of them.
The
They-
B
and they
movies are
are.
the best ones.
Yeah.
though.
Exactly.
yeah.
Like I don't want like a show. I want a cheesy
Yes.
Christmas movie. Like
Yeah.
that's
Feel
what I
good.
want. Like where I know
What's
it
gonna
will turn
happen.
out
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
in the end. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Agreed.
it's so funny. Well,
Man.
Man,
it's come to that time of the episode.
it has. It has.
Spotify
Well,
rap,
we
baby.
moved from wrapped presents to wrapped music.
Ooh,
liked that.
good
Yeah.
job.
That was-
a
that was
good
quick.
one. That was a good
was.
one.
It was quick.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we want to do this?
That's a
Last
good
year, I
question.
think we just went one by one. But do we?
Yeah. Like maybe like category like
I mean, because first of all, Spotify Wrapped was lame
It was
this
trash.
year. But
Yes.
also we have to remember they fired 1,500 employees at the
Yes.
beginning of the
Yeah.
year. So we knew it would be a mess.
Yes.
And like, that's one of the reasons why it was like so delayed is because the AI like wasn't working. And then like they needed those 1,500 employees, but they didn't have them. So
yeah.
It's just wild how little we got. Like I basically
Yeah.
I
got
know.
my top artists and top songs.
Exactly.
And
My
how
to-
many hours?
Exactly.
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 Because I was like, I wasn't listening to like
Not even
podcasts
genre.
on like
yeah.
on
Spotify.
Spotify this year. So it was like, there was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I know.
So,
Not even a genre because they did
No.
the feel like at the beginning of the year you listened to this.
It's like, this is the vibe.
However, there are a million other people I know who got the same one as me for the same month
Exactly.
as me.
That's weird.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, that wasn't even really interesting at this point. Like, wasn't even giving what I wanted it to
Yeah.
give. So
so
is Adia going last? That's the
yeah, I
vibe.
feel like that's the vibe. That needs to be
It's always
it. It's always Adia because she's always coming out the
I know.
woodworks
Well,
with
you know, she
Jeez.
does
what
have
she's
some, yeah.
listening to.
She's got some
Always.
stuff on there.
So I
Let's-
just have my top 5 songs and
So
artists,
should we
like,
let's
played.
go like your minutes, like all of
Okay.
that, and then we can take turns doing like our top 5 and then
I
like
don't
our
have my
song.
minutes like screenshotted.
Oh, really?
so-
Oh.
I
Well,
know
how
it was
many-
like around 13,000 or something
Okay.
because
Really?
yeah, it was low because I was an audiobook girly
Okay.
this year.
Yeah. That makes
So I was audiobook, I was watching soccer games, I was
Yeah.
listening to podcasts on like YouTube,
Yeah.
but not on
Yeah.
Spotify. So
Okay.
it was low.
I felt like I listened a lot this year, and I was only at 16,000. Like,
Really?
yeah,
Guys,
I know. I feel like I was listening often.
I did more
but-
than you guys this time.
I mean, that makes sense. You said you listened to it like 8 hours a day.
I
in
do
the office.
Yeah.
at work. Yeah.
So yeah, of course.
I
you're
had
gonna be.
56,674 minutes.
I haven't seen one that high. I've
Yeah.
seen people in like 30,000.
Yeah, 30.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Woo wee mama.
Yeah.
Huh.
So,
So you had a lot of data to pull from.
You
Yes.
really did.
Well-
maybe that's why mine was so lackadaisical.
Yeah.
Because
yeah. Well, so
So your podcasts were on there too. I wonder if
yeah,
that
my
counted towards
podcasts were
minutes.
on there, and also I have a kid, so that's
Yeah.
another thing. And then I listen to white noise and brown noise
Okay,
at
yeah.
night on my Google Home.
wait,
so
what is brown noise?
It's a little bit like
brown noise is like a softer white noise.
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know how to explain
It's
it.
like
That's
warmer. I don't-
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
like-
okay. Warmer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
it just it's like basically what you hear in your head when like you don't have anything playing.
Versus like white noise is like the TV
Yeah.
static type.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
So brown
yeah.
noise is like if you're just it's dead silent and you hear
That's
like
crazy.
the
Yeah.
Okay.
like in your head, like that's what brown noise is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would hate that. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Well,
Perfect.
it's perfect for sleeping.
perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need complete silence. So not for me.
Oh man, yeah. I need a ASMR. I need to
YouTube, yeah.
yeah.
To like fall asleep, I need like I'll be like watching something and I'll be ASMR, but then as soon as I like am like, okay, I'm going to sleep now, turn it off.
Oh, I go to
Wow.
sleep with it.
Me
like
too.
that gets me to sleep.
And it's been a problem because like my stuff will play after I'm asleep because my YouTube, since I have premium, I can play it with my phone locked.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
I kind of have to pick a video that's 10 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
So
like
funny.
my
You're
phone's gonna
done.
be
Yeah.
So
Red
I've
hot.
I've woken up before with like 4 hours of screen time just because it was like on. You know,
Yeah.
you're like, and it
Yeah.
just like kept
That's
going.
crazy.
So yeah.
Okay, so lots of minutes, not lots of minutes, but you guys were on
Yeah.
different stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
yeah, it's here or there.
So are
Um,
we doing songs or artists?
Yeah, let's do
What did you
songs
say?
first.
Okay.
How many songs did you guys play?
Oh, I didn't.
I didn't.
Let me see.
look.
You're going.
Well, I'm just trying to waste as much time as possible before I get to
I
my top
see,
5.
I see.
Um,
Okay, I also didn't screenshot how many different songs I listened to.
So how many different songs did you listen
I played 4,980
Okay.
songs
Okay.
this year.
to? Okay.
I feel like mine was around 1,500. So yeah,
Yeah, I
that
don't-
checks out. That you would.
I don't even remember that was a thing,
triple.
so.
yeah.
Okay, what was everyone's top song? Like your number
Okay.
one top song, and then we can go
From there.
Okay.
top 5s.
Yeah. Mine was a song by P1 Harmony called "Fall in Love Again."
Okay.
I saw it and I was like, I'm shocked. Like, I don't remember listening. But then I was like, wait a minute. At the beginning of the year, I rediscovered this song and I was like blasting it all the time. 'Cause
Sing a
it's just,
line from the song.
take a chance, baby. Let's take a chance. Okay.
Great.
So
I love that.
That was that.
That was
so
good.
it was just like a feel good, like fun
Yeah.
song. Also, I saw P1 Harmony in concert earlier this year. So I was like,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
You had to
checks
relive
out.
We're
it.
living it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Katie.
Top song, "It Will Come Back" by Hozier. It's
Sing
from
it.
his first album. Don't let me in if you. Wait, why can't I think of?
Was it a top song? Was it a top?
Why can't I think it? Like I know what comes next.
Uh-huh.
He basically like howls at the end of it like a wolf, and it's like kind of hot. So I
mean,
listen to it a lot.
you love a
Yeah,
wolf.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
He just like it's a song that's about like longing, and it's like
That
just
sounds like a
the-
Hozier song.
Honestly.
and devotion, where he's like, once you let me in, like
I'll
it's a
be
wrap.
devoted.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Makes
so,
sense. There we go.
It's a good one. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a good
Okay.
one.
My top song was 500 Pounds by Lil Tecca.
Oh my god, girl,
And this
sing
is-
it.
No, sing it.
I got 500 shots at 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Something like that. And it was only my top song because that's my gym song, like to get warmed up. So I did listen to it quite a bit, but I don't think it was enough to be my top song.
Yeah,
like I don't.
yeah.
I listened to it, like, yeah, but it
But
wasn't.
number one is like a
Yeah, I
interesting.
feel like that was a lie. So, but that's my conspiracy theory that they really fudged up this. So I'm not claiming that, but I did listen to it a
But
lot.
with 4,000 other songs played, it makes you wonder, like, maybe that one actually was.
Yeah.
It
like,
said I played it like 57 times,
Oh,
which is not
interesting.
a lot. I
But if
feel
you
like.
listen to it oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Because
Yeah.
like, if you listen to it once at the gym, but you're saying you think you listen to other things more than 50%.
Yeah. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Right,
For
right.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know where
You
they're
know,
getting
that's
those
interesting.
numbers
Mine,
from.
It's at 81 for me, which is like interesting. I mean, I do believe it's my top song probably, but 81, I was like, that doesn't seem like that many in the grand scheme.
No,
Like
it doesn't really.
80 days, if I listen to it once
Once
a
a
day,
day?
Yeah.
not many.
I'm shocked that it's that artist and not anybody else.
Me too.
For songs, yeah.
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 Lil-
Yeah,
for
yeah.
songs.
That's
don't
what
get
we
it
knew.
twisted.
That's
Yeah.
what we knew. Yeah.
Yeah. So
For songs.
if we go through the rest of our list for top songs,
Okay.
So 2 was Yes and by Ari.
Yeah.
really,
Yeah. 3 was Chasing That Feeling by TXT. 4 is The Boy Is Mine by Ari. And 5 is Espresso.
Okay.
Sabrina.
okay,
Interesting. I'm expecting Ari on your top 5 then, because that's 2 songs. That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Let's see. 2 for me, From Eden by Hozier, also from his first album. Devotion, what can you say? 3, Sympathy is a Knife by Charlie XCX. I was expecting that to be a little higher, if I'm honest. Like, 3 was like, I knew it was going to be on there.
You
but
were really having a Brat Summer. So I'm like,
I really like the
Yeah.
album hit, because I've listened to her stuff before, but her in the past, her albums, the whole thing hasn't connected with me
Yeah.
necessarily. Like I like certain songs, and I'm a person who listens to like a whole artist's
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like whatever. Anyway, so the album was good. Deeper Well, Casey Musgraves,
Yeah.
4, which was like I was a little surprised it was in my top 5. I was like, did I really? And then I told Scott, and he's like, well, I heard a lot in the car. I'm like,
okay,
did
Scott.
you? Out of all the songs off Deeper Well, anyway. And then 5 is I Can Change by Raleigh Ritchie, which I should have seen coming because that's the Jacob Anderson. Like I was
There you go.
really in August
Great.
just like grinding his
There you go.
his Spotify.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Number 2 is Like That by Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Great song. Number 3 is Most Wanted by Beyonce and Miley Cyrus.
Yep.
Number 4 is Wannabe with Meg Thee Stallion and Glorilla. And number 5 is Blindsided by Kelsey Ballerini.
You have a lot of
Wow.
like features, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like artist plus somebody.
Yeah.
Incredible.
You did a lot of collabs this
I
year.
did.
You said this is my collab year.
It
Yeah.
is,
I love
and
that.
those are all great songs.
Yeah.
I think my most listened song should have been Most Wanted.
You know, that's
100%.
actually such a switch up. Last year weren't all 5 Morgan Wallen.
They were.
They
so-
were,
Yeah, so
and
this is
Beyonce
like-
came out with a country album, and
Well, exactly.
she did it for me.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
replaced what needed to be done. So
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, that's funny.
So funny.
That's good.
no, it was good. Yeah.
I love that.
So are we working 5 to 1 now?
Oh, 5 to
for
1, sure.
artists?
Okay.
For
Okay.
artists?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
feel like get to the pinnacle, right?
Yeah. Okay. 5. Are we just doing
Just
one
so-
by one?
We could do them all. Like if you want to just run through yours. And
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing on this is surprising
Okay,
to me.
okay.
So, 5 was 17. I saw them in concert this year,
Twice.
so
Yeah, that makes
that's
sense.
that.
That makes sense.
4, Usher,
Again,
Daddy's Home.
concert.
So,
Ooh.
3, Beyonce. She moved lower.
yeah.
2, Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
She
Nice.
came out with a banger of an album. Like, what
can
are
you
we
say?
saying?
Nice.
And then number 1, 6 years in a row, baby.
Yeah.
EXO.
EXO.
You love to see it.
We do. And I was nervous, honestly, because I was like I've listened to EXO, but like they didn't come out with an album this
Yeah.
year. Like I was listening to a bunch of other
Well, right,
things. So I
yeah.
was like, will they? But then,
Because Beyonce was 2 last year for you.
yeah, Beyonce was 2.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
EXO number 1,
All right.
as they should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to switch it up,
Yeah.
Dedication.
at least for one. Everyone else could be switched
Do
up.
whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. 5 for me, which we saw coming, is Hans Zimmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's think. Dune Part 1 and Part 2, Gladiator. He did an Apple TV Prehistoric Planet series. I've been listening to that. So
Okay.
he's got a lot going. Well,
Yeah.
he has a lot going on anyway, but those were my
Yeah.
top from memory. Okay, number 4 is embarrassing actually for me. And I was honestly gagged when this came up. I was shocked. Okay, it's this artist called Chill Astronaut. And They do Lord of the Rings lo-fi.
Okay.
That's actually good.
That's not, yeah. I was like, the Lord of the Rings soundtrack is like really good. So I was like,
Well, it is. But I was just like, oh.
listen to it that much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Fair.
interesting.
Fair.
3, Charlie XCX. 2, Casey Musgraves.
Yeah.
She's up there I'm
She
like,
is.
I don't feel like I'm consciously listening to her, but I must be. I don't, or subconsciously. And then one we already know is Hosier.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, by like a lot of hours.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I love it.
Predictable.
I'm sure.
Predictable. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that chill astronaut. I was like, I had to look it up.
I was
Who
like,
is
who?
that? And I was like, huh?
Makes
right,
sense. Yeah.
Right. I
That's funny.
did listen to
Yeah.
Concerning Hobbits a lot. Anyway,
I love that.
That does seem
Yeah.
chill though. It
was a good time.
I like lo-fi.
And when I looked him back up, because I haven't listened in a minute, he has a whole Dune lo-fi album.
oh,
So
all right.
catch
Well,
him
there
next
we
year. I'm
go.
like, you're fine.
He'll be number 3.
Yeah,
He'll be up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, now for the moment.
The
we
big
Well,
want.
this
reveal,
was
lady.
such a great episode, everyone.
yeah.
She's like, and we're done. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna preface. I don't believe that this is accurate. Like I just don't believe it's accurate at all.
That's fine.
So number 5 is Beyonce. Number 4 is the Kid Laroi. I'm
Interesting.
having a hard time reading
Did he
this.
come
next
out
one.
with a lot this year? Or?
He came out with an album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
cool.
then like a deluxe
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
and
he
India was streaming it.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
no, he popped off this
Yeah.
year for sure. I really can't read the next one.
I think
Can
you
we-
can.
Can we guess? Like, I just.
Yeah, take a guess.
Is it Drake?
No,
Kendrick?
no.
Oh, is it Morgan?
Yeah. Oh. I don't know why he's number 3. Honest to God, I did not listen to him that much this year.
When he didn't come out with an album.
No,
right?
except
Yeah.
for the summer. The summer was the only
Wow.
time where it was like popping off. But like, I don't think I listened to him enough in 3 months of summer to dictate him to be number 3 on my list
I don't
ahead of
know.
Beyonce.
But he has so many. Like, I know I mentioned at one point the country playlist I found, there was like 100
I remember
you
saying that. Yeah,
sleeper
yeah.
songs where
Yeah.
like, it came on. I'm like, wait, this is him. Let's skip it. So
Yeah.
it's like he's in a lot
Yeah.
of stuff.
I did not actively seek him out as much as I did
Your
last
Spotify
year.
just knows you.
Like
That's
last
all.
year, I was typing in Morgan
yeah,
Wallen
you're
to
like,
play it.
more,
Like
right,
this
right,
year,
right.
I wasn't doing all
You're
like
like,
I
it was
yeah.
just in my liked playlist. So,
yeah. So I think that one's fake news.
Okay.
Definitely not number 3. Number 2 is the band Camino.
Okay, they
Oh.
moved up a lot.
They did,
They were
and
like 4 last year or something.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I, again, don't think that I act like I know I listen to them a
Right.
lot, but it wasn't like that
Yeah.
much. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm nervous about your number 1 with.
Yeah, you've got like an interesting thing going on right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is fake. Like this is
Yeah.
not legit.
Because we were in the car and we were discussing. We were like, who do we think Adia's?
Who do you?
Top.
What were you guessing?
Well, I thought it was gonna be like, I thought Drake, Kendrick, Morgan Wallen were gonna be like your top
three.
3. I don't know
Yeah.
in what order, but I was
Yeah.
like, I think that's gonna be it. But then you only have one left, so it's either Kendrick
I
or
know.
Drake. So
I
who
was
is
kinda thinking
it?
the same because that's what I was thinking. The same, especially because I think Drake. He's like kind of a sleeper for you. Like you put him on maybe without knowing it.
Yeah.
sometimes. Or like just because he's
Yeah.
like got a
Yeah.
whole
He has the hits. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
But then you were really playing Kendrick's.
I was.
Music.
I was
Right.
trying.
Right.
To
Right.
rectify.
Yes.
But
Oh.
now we'll see what side of the feud you're on. Clearly.
or just
Or
a whole
not.
other artist that we didn't even. I mean, you haven't talked about anybody else really.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
Kelsey Ballerini was in your top 5 songs.
Yeah,
True,
I listened to her
true, true.
a lot. She had her divorce
You had,
album.
first of all, you
Yeah.
had a lot of women on your songs.
I did.
and I was
Yeah.
very proud of you.
This year, yes.
Yes,
Because
for
I
the
was
top 5 at least.
I was
Well,
in my I
right,
was
right,
in my
right.
redemption era,
Yeah,
guys.
right.
This year, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I was
Then
all
you
about
did-
intentionality.
You did also tell us that you felt like you were a male manipulator with these
Yeah.
top artists.
I-
So makes
I-
me think.
I did, yeah. And
but then you were like, "Oh, for last year, I
Yes.
was for
Yeah,
sure."
right.
yes, like
that's
last year,
true.
I can repost any TikTok. It could be relevant from today to 5 years ago. You know,
Uh-huh.
like it's
yeah,
Just
that's
relatable
true.
content.
It's
so.
just relatable.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, so give us your number 1.
so. Oh, hello. Is this working? Can you guys hear me?
and
Nope.
that's the pot. No. Tune in next time for.
It's gotta be Drake the way she's acting,
I
right?
know it
Like,
has
or
to be.
There's no.
There's no, because she would have already said Kendrick if it was,
exactly.
or if it was anybody else, she would have said it.
Exactly.
So it has to be.
Exactly.
And so for
Coming
2 years
in-
2 years in a row,
at 2,000 minutes.
Adia needs
Top
to be embarrassed
Top 2%.
for year number 2.
Top 2% fan. 2,194 minutes. Aubrey Drake Graham comes in as my number 1 artist.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Honest to God, I do not know how this happened.
Oh my gosh.
I have played so much Kendrick this
Yeah.
year.
Not enough.
Like, I think I'm starting to agree. Like,
Oh, that
Like-
he's being paid, or
like,
somebody's being paid.
something is not right with the Spotify list, because I'm when I tell you guys, like, I was like, I cannot sit up in front of these girls
For another
a
year.
second year in a row and have Jay my number 1 artist, knowing the year that he had.
Right.
Like,
That's the other thing.
That's
like
the
last
gag,
year,
yeah.
he was just like under the radar.
Yeah.
So, like, it's embarrassing last year, but like
It was like
it was
just
different.
Yeah,
It was different.
But this year,
and
crazy.
it happened in the middle of the year, so I was like,
Yeah.
I know I have time to rectify what I've
Yes.
been doing the first half of the year.
Yes.
I believed in myself. Like, I put in so much work.
You funded his lawsuit to Universal Music Group.
I put in so much work to make this man not my
God.
number 1. I really did. Like,
Oh my
I
God.
That's so
cannot
funny.
tell you how many times I listened to Euphoria, which is crazy that it's not even like
Right.
on
Yeah.
my top songs, because I know I listened to that song more than 53 times, but it's rigged.
To admit that is interesting.
It's
but-
rigged. Like, it's rigged.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Man.
but also,
Am
I
I
believe
saying
it.
I didn't listen to him? No, I listened to the man. I listened to him. Did I listen to him enough for him to be number 1? I don't think so.
It's tough because like part of me is like maybe that's better than Morgan Wallen, but then another part of me is like with everything that happened this year, it's not. It's not because he's literally a pedophile. Allegedly.
Allegedly. No libel
Don't sue
over
us,
here.
please.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
But
I don't believe it. I really don't.
then you
It's-
think about Morgan Wallen with the chair, and you're like, is that
well, that new
worse?
thing that he's like now
convicted,
convicted, guilty, and is in jail for like
7
a
days.
week or something.
Yeah.
So
But writing's on the wall for 2025 for Drake. So TBD.
TBD.
I've even
Who's to
skipped songs
say?
when they've come up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. Like, I
the
was
second half of the year, not the first half.
second
Don't
half.
get it twisted.
I was adamant.
Like, I
Adamant.
can't even imagine you pulling this up like Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Because you texted us at like
Yeah.
8 or 9.
You were like,
and you're
it's out. And we were like,
And
okay.
I could not even imagine.
I would have
like,
screamed.
Yeah.
I did. I
Yeah.
did, because I was like, I felt like I was going to the principal's office. I'm like,
Well, yeah. It's
This
you're
is
getting
the principal's office.
Nervous every
Yeah.
year. And it's like,
yeah.
Wow.
that's-
Yeah.
I love that. Well, it's always a fun time.
Yeah.
You know? You never know what's coming. You
I
never know.
didn't. I really didn't know. Honestly, it got to the point where I was like, I'm switching to Apple Music. Like, they're they're lying on me. They're lying on my name. Like, I rebuke this.
Oh my
Imagine
God.
if you had switched to Apple Music like halfway through the year. You'd be like,
my
and we would have been
God.
like, we know why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been interesting.
They're lying
to
on my name.
compare. Yeah.
That's
Well,
so funny.
So,
there's always next year. Always
Yeah.
next year.
yeah,
I guess we'll see. Year 3.
yes.
God bless and Godspeed.
But it is Spotify Wrapped is. We hope that Hosier and EXO stay our
Oh
number
my
ones.
gosh.
And
Yeah.
I know. I really this next year I'm gonna focus on his Unreal on Earth album from
Yeah.
2023 because like the last 2 years I was listening to the album from 2019, 2014. Like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
why are we? He released a whole album last year. It wasn't even my top album. Like, so
he's just got a lot of good music,
Yeah.
and you need to
yeah, and he
hold
did-
space
he did
for
more,
that.
like- yeah, he did more rock, I guess, and I'm more like, or no, he did more poppy rock, and I'm like, go back to the rock a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm hoping EXO. So the last two EXO members are
Coming back?
from the
Ooh,
military
nice.
next year. So I'm hoping
You
that they
know,
release
and 12 months
something.
is
You
a
know.
long time
And
for
Mama will be
K-pop.
streaming it.
They
Like,
will be.
I'll be there.
They have to.
They must be because 12 months is a long time for K-pop to be all active
Exactly.
and not drop something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know they do their like solo stuff, so maybe I'll have like
yeah.
that to do.
That's
but
true.
You'll have a lot of content next year.
I
I
pray.
think so too.
I hope
for EXO.
so.
Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and watch us.
Anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Don't forget to subscribe.
It's like you never read this.
Literally here. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us everywhere you listen to podcasts. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.